They rode in, white cloaks, bearing a blood-red cross. Their swords were sharp, their faith sharper. To some they were holy warriors, to others fanatics cloaked in gold and secrecy. Who were the Knights Templar, really? Saints? Sinners? Or something far more human and far more dangerous? Welcome to Fata Morgana, where history is not a list of dates, but a labyrinth of secrets. Today we walk the path of the Templars, across deserts, cathedrals, battlefields, and ultimately into the flames of their downfall. The story begins in 1119 AD, in the bruised and boiling aftermath of the First Crusade. The Christian armies had seized Jerusalem in 1099, and pilgrims from Europe began streaming into the Holy Land. But the road from the ports to Jerusalem was treacherous, plagued by bandits and Saracen ambushes. A French nobleman, Hugh de Payens, and 8 fellow knights approached King Baldwin II of Jerusalem with a strange proposal. They would take monastic vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience, but fight. Unlike traditional monks, they would wield swords. They called themselves the poor fellow soldiers of Christ and of the Temple of Solomon, soon shortened to the Knights Templar. Their headquarters, built on the Temple Mount, atop the ruins of the ancient Jewish Temple of Solomon. Thus, myth and faith were fused from the beginning. They fought in major crusader battles, Hattin, Acre, Damietta, and carved a reputation for fearlessness. Unlike mercenaries, Templars did not retreat. They held their ground, even unto death. But their real power lay not in combat, but in finance. The Templars soon became Europe's most trusted bankers. Pilgrims could deposit gold in Paris and withdraw it in Jerusalem using coded documents, centuries before modern banking. They acquired vast tracts of land, mills, vineyards, and castles across France, England, Spain, Portugal, and the Holy Roman Empire. Their network of presbyteries allowed them to fund not only crusades, but kings. They even loaned vast sums to monarchs, most notably King Philip IV of France. And therein lies the seed of their destruction. By the early 1300s, the Crusader states had collapsed. Acre fell in 1291, marking the end of the Christian military presence in the Holy Land. With no crusades left to fight, the Templars' military role withered, but their wealth remained. Philip IV, deep in debt from wars with England and the papacy, saw an opportunity. He couldn't simply seize church lands, but the Templars were a military order, separate, vulnerable, and they were rich. On Friday, October 13, 1307, Philip struck. Hundreds of Templars in France were arrested simultaneously. Charges included heresy, idolatry, homosexuality, and worship of a severed head, likely a corruption of relic veneration practices. Under torture, many confessed. In 1312, under immense political pressure, Pope Clement V disbanded the order. In 1314, the last Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, was burned alive in Paris. Before the flames took him, he is said to have cursed both the king and the pope to die within a year. Strangely, both did. And so the order vanished, officially. But they did not vanish in the public imagination. Rumors spread that some Templars escaped, that they took their treasure gold, relics, the Holy Grail, and went underground. Some whispered they fled to Scotland, aiding Robert the Bruce at the Battle of Bannockburn. Others claimed they merged into Freemasonry, forming secret societies to this day. Modern pop culture exploded with these legends: the Da Vinci Code, Assassin's Creed, National Treasure. But what is truth? And what is invention? Historians find no concrete link between the Templars and modern secret orders. The Freemasons themselves only emerged centuries later, yet the mystery persists, not because of facts, but because of desire. People want to believe. In modern history, the Templar image has been co-opted and weaponized. In 19th century France, ultra-Catholic monarchists invoked them as symbols of Christian chivalry. In Nazi Germany, Heinrich Himmler designed the SS as a sort of Neo-Templar order, steeped in mystical pseudo-history. Some Islamists refer to modern Western forces as Crusaders or New Templars, reviving old wounds for new agendas. The Templars, once real men, have become mirrors, onto which every age projects its fears, its fantasies, its politics. So what can we truly learn from the Templars? 1. Power centralized without accountability breeds paranoia. The Templars became too powerful and thus disposable to those more powerful still. Faith and violence make a dangerous marriage. The Templars believed they were fighting God's battles, and narrative is power. The Templars live on, not because of their archives, but because of the stories told about them. In an age of cyber warfare and space-based defense systems, the idea of armored knights may seem quaint, but some modern equivalents remain. Special forces trained in religion, culture, and warfare, such as some units within intelligence or counterterrorism agencies, mirror the original concept: warriors with ideological and moral frameworks, acting under secrecy and with elite access. Could AI soldiers one day swear loyalty to a digital order? Will synthetic crusades be programmed to enforce not just rules, but belief? The Templars teach us to beware of institutions that blend ideology, wealth, and secrecy. Their rise was miraculous, their fall was inevitable, but their ghost lingers in symbols, in fiction, in flags, and fears. They came bearing swords and scriptures, driven by zeal and gold. They were knights, they were monks, they were mortal, and they were myth. The Templars remind us that history is not always written in ink. Sometimes it is carved into stone, whispered through fire, or buried beneath centuries of silence, waiting for us to uncover what we think we know. This is Fata Morgana, where the past is not past, and every ruin hides a question. If this story stirred something ancient in you, please subscribe and walk with us again into the fog of forgotten truth.